Pakistan with a majority of 2,500 votes. As chair of the All-Party Parliamentary Group on British Muslims, he has raised his voice against atrocities against Muslims in Rohingya, Kashmir and all over the world. We appreciate his recent speech in Parliament on the human rights abuse in Kashmir and highlighting this issue that is so close to all Kashmiris and Pakistanis. Please welcome the Member of Parliament for Peterborough, Paul Bristow.
That was quite an introduction. Thank you very much indeed. It's always very difficult to speak at these events after hearing so many wonderful speeches, and so I'm not going to talk for too long, but at the risk of repeating some of the messages that we've heard already, there's just one or two things I really want to say. What's absolutely true, without a shadow of a doubt, that I wouldn't be standing here and talking to you today as the Member of Parliament for Peterborough if it wasn't for the Conservative Friends of Pakistan, if it wasn't for my own association, which has many, many dozen Muslim members, and if it wasn't for the significant number of votes that I got for the Muslim community. So for that, I just want to say thank you very much indeed. I'm really very grateful. I'm particularly proud to be the MP for my home seat of Peterborough. It's where I grew up, it's where I live, it's where I went to school, it's my city. And I say that on a very regular basis. I'm incredibly proud that the Conservative Association in Peterborough are one of the only organisations or the only associations in the country to have its own distinct Conservative Muslim Forum branch. That's something we pioneered in Peterborough, and it's a fantastic vehicle to welcome Muslims into the Conservative Party and get them campaigning on the streets, standing as councillors, being party activists and ultimately standing for Parliament. I see Shazia here, who's a councillor in Peterborough. I see Yusuf, who's the chair of the Conservative Muslim Forum. I see Councillor Hackner Waz lurking around the back somewhere or other. These are my soldiers, these are my guys who are campaigning for me day in, day out, and it's their entry into the Conservative Party that sees me here addressing you today. Thank you from the very bottom of my heart. We've heard earlier in one of the other speeches that Muslim values are Conservative values. This is something I talk about all the time in my constituency. And you know, my friends, the Labour Party has taken Muslim votes for granted for far too long. There is an opportunity for us to do what we did in the Red Wall, to do what we've done elsewhere in the country, and reach out to Muslims in this country and explain to them that our party is for them. Our values are their values. And if we can communicate that we share their concerns, their fears and their outrage at Muslim atrocities across the world, then, my friends, we will be the natural party of Muslims in this country. The last thing I want to say is about Pakistan. And Your Excellency, my friend, I see you over there today. There should be no closer friends than the United Kingdom and Pakistan. I remember when there was a debate going on nationally about access to France for people with second homes in France. And I made the point very clearly that there are more British people with second homes in Pakistan than there are in France, and we should be communicating that and talking about that very clearly. There are should be no closer friends than the United Kingdom and Pakistan. We intermingle. People come from our country and back all the time, and those ties are close. Those ties are strong, and it's something that I talk about on a very regular basis. The last thing I just want to say is this. If we get this right, if we are able to hone our message, translate Conservative votes into Conservative activists, into Conservative councillors, into MPs, there is no limit to what we can achieve with organisations like the Conservative Friends of Pakistan behind us. We have won council seats in Peterborough. We have won MPs in places like Peterborough with considerable Pakistani, Kashmiri and Muslim populations. If we get this right, there is no reason we can't win in Bedford, in Luton, in Bradford, and turn these places into Conservative seats. And Manchester. So, my friends, that's the mission ahead of us. You come into the Conservative Party, get more activists and members of the Muslim community into the Conservative Party, and together we can win.
Thank you, Paul. Alia, may I ask you to come in?